The parable of the Good Shepherd. After Jesus hurriedly departed from Jerusalem at the end of the Feast of Dedication, many people in the city became curious in his message. When they learned that he had gone to Pella, a group of more than 300 inhabitants followed him. Among them were many Pharisees, who, after the confusing session about the blind man healed on the Sabbath, were genuinely interested in further investigation. In the presence of these Jewish teachers, as well as his own 12 apostles, Jesus told the parable of the Good Shepherd. After answering some questions, Jesus addressed this group from Jerusalem and spoke. "This evening, I have much to say to you. Many among you are sincere seekers, but some of you are hostile to me. Therefore, I will give my teaching in the form of a parable, so that everyone can take from it what their heart is receptive to. Tonight, there are people here who are willing to die for me and for this gospel of the kingdom. Some of you are slaves of tradition who have followed me from Jerusalem, and who, just like your blind leaders, will try to kill the Son of Man. My life that I now live in the flesh will judge both the true and the false shepherd. If the false shepherd were blind, he would not be sinful. But you claim to see. You say you are teachers in Israel. Therefore this sin remains upon you. A true shepherd gathers his flock and safely shelters them in the sheepfold against the dangers of the night. And when morning comes, he enters the sheepfold through the door, and when he calls, the sheep know his voice. Any shepherd who enters the sheepfold in any other way than through the door is a thief and a robber. The true shepherd enters the fold after the gatekeeper has opened the door for him, and his sheep who know his voice come out at his word. When his own are brought out, the true shepherd goes before them. He shows the sheep the way, and the sheep follow him. His sheep follow him because they know his voice. They will not follow a stranger. They will flee from the stranger because they do not know his voice. The people who have come here are like sheep without a shepherd, but when we speak to them, they recognize the voice of the shepherd and follow us. At least those who hunger for truth and thirst for righteousness. Some of you are not of my flock. You do not know my voice and you do not follow me. And because you are false shepherds, the sheep do not recognize your voice and will not follow you." After Jesus had spoken this parable, no one dared to ask him a question. After a pause, he spoke again and began to discuss the parable. "You, who want to be shepherds of my Father's flock, must not only be worthy leaders, but you must also feed the flock with good food. You are not true shepherds unless you lead your flocks to green pastures and beside still waters. And lest some of you take this parable too lightly, I tell you that I am both the door to my Father's sheepfold and at the same time the true shepherd of my Father's flocks. Any shepherd who tries to enter the fold without me will fail, and the sheep will not hear his voice. I am, along with those who serve with me, the door. Any soul who enters the eternal way by the means I have created and established will be saved and able to proceed to the eternal pastures of paradise. But I am also the true shepherd who is willing, if necessary, to give his life for the sheep. The thief breaks in to steal, kill, and destroy, but I have come so that you all may have life in more abundance. He who is a hireling will flee when danger threatens, allowing the sheep to be scattered and perish. The true shepherd will not flee when the wolf comes. He will protect his flock and, if necessary, give his life for his sheep. Truly, truly I say to you, I am the true shepherd. I know mine, and mine sheep know me. I will not flee when danger threatens. I will complete this service, the fulfillment of my Father's will, and I will not abandon the flock that the Father has given me. But I have many other sheep that are not of this fold. These other sheep also hear and know my voice, and I have promised the Father that they will all be gathered into one flock, one brotherhood of the sons of God. And then you will all know the voice of one shepherd, the true shepherd, and all will acknowledge the fatherhood of God. Thus you will know why the Father loves me and has entrusted all his flocks to my care. It is because the Father knows that I will not waver in protecting the flock, that I will not abandon my sheep, and that I will not hesitate, if necessary, to give my life in the service of his diverse flocks. But note, when I give my life, I will take it up again. No man, nor any other creature, can take my life from me. I have the right and the power to lay down my life, and I have the same power and right to take it up again. You cannot understand this, but I received this authority from my Father long before this world existed. When they heard these words, his apostles were confused, and his disciples were astonished. Some of the Pharisees returned to Jerusalem that evening, concluding that, "This man is insane or possessed by a devil." But another part of the teachers from Jerusalem said, "He speaks like someone with authority. Who has ever seen someone possessed by a devil open the eyes of a man born blind and do all the wonderful things this man has done?" The next morning, about half of these Jewish teachers declared their intention to join the kingdom.